right, what's going on, everybody? I want to talk about what's going on again with coronavirus, just from my perspective and what I've been reading and seeing on the internet and, news and whatnot. In Michigan, as of right now, our stay-at-home order is still in place until April 30th. We're going to see in the next 10 days if we continue to the April 30th or if we move forward with extending the stay-at-home quarantine order. There are other states where they're just like, hey, fuck it. Georgia, to be one of those states, April 24th, this Friday at 8 a.m., they're going back to where they were at, right? Like, they're opening up everything. Restaurants, barbershops, beauty salons, gyms, people going back, they can go back to work and go back to work. They're just going right back to it. I'm just hoping and praying that the states that do go back sooner than others I just hope and pray that people are safe. I hope and pray that there's no casualties, and if there are casualties, granted, I don't want any, but if there are, that they're low. Because this is scary. I mean, all you have to do is look at what's going on in other countries, and then also history repeats itself. When we look at other pandemics and plagues, if you will, for example, the influenza in 1918, it had like second and third waves, and the second wave was worse than the first wave, and the first wave was horrible. So it's like, God, 30,000 plus deaths, damn near 1 million cases so far in the country. We need to take caution. Also in Michigan, our governor Gretchen Whitmer, is taking a 10% pay cut because she understands, where we're at right now as a state dealing with the coronavirus and how the stay-at-home order is infecting us economically and how much it is on taxpayers. And thankfully, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is taking a 10% pay cut, which I believe the governor makes about $159,000 a year, and she's taking a 10% pay cut, so to save taxpayers. And I think that needs to be noted and commended and applaud and honored, because something, a lot of us talk about what politicians need to do and how they need to serve their people and how they need to save the money and like really help the people on Main Street. Well, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is showing that. She's taking a 10% pay cut. And just think if a lot of these politicians up and down the board would do that. I think if a lot of these wealthy billionaires and millionaires would do that, right? Pay your way through, right? Each one help one, teach one. So I just think that needs to be mentioned and commended, and she needs to be applauded. And she's doing an amazing job, and so is Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist in Michigan, doing an amazing job, and I appreciate what they're doing to protect us and to save lives, which is also crazy because, again, when you look at a lot of these, and at this point, I'm just going to go there. When you look at a lot of these conservatives who will scream and yell about how they're pro-life, right, when it comes to abortions and fetuses. They're pro-life, 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 pro-life. But then here we are in one of the biggest pro-life battles of our current history, can be argued. This is a big fucking deal. They're not pro-life. They're very pro-choice when it comes to prolonging life of actual living beings, humans, adults, men, women, girls, boys, people, of all races, of all genders, of all sexualities, of all religions, people, who have lives, they're very pro-choice when it comes to this, right? But that's what I mean by it's like, are you really pro-life, or are you just pro-life when it pertains to a certain group of people, you know? Because at this point, I don't want to hear shit about abortions when you're sitting up here okay with 1, 2, 3% of your population dying. You're okay with 3 million folks just fucking disappearing, dying. Yeah, you're not really pro-life. You're pro-bullshit. Happy 420. But it's just, so I think about that. And then, like, I have friends, I have family, there's just people in general that live in these other states where they're opening up, in my opinion, prematurely. And I worry because, like, I don't want, life is not perfect. And I know ultimately we're going to live and we're going to die. Like, that's pretty much certain in life. Damn. This punch breath, you smell it, you taste it, it is super good. Like, you guys, I'm gonna have to grow this punch breath. And it is indica. But it's just crazy, seeing all this happen. And I think about my friends, like family members and people in these different states, and how, like, essentially your governors are basically playing politics with your life because they're not taking this serious. And this is what's hilarious. Well, not hilarious. This is what's contradictive, is the fact that they keep saying, this is not political. This is not political. This is not political. And I agree. We're talking about human lives. Like I said in the previous video, who gives a fuck if you're a Democrat, Republican, centrist, third party, moderate, liberal, progressive, conservative, libertarian? Who gives a fuck? I care about your life, right? But then on the flip side, if we're really being honest, it is political. Because it's odd how certain states are taking it serious and other states don't give a damn. And again, we're going to continue to watch casualty after casualty after casualty. And it's going to hit closer and closer and closer to home. And a lot of us are going to have severe mental health issues coming out of this, if we come out of this, right? Like, severe. Mercy, stop. Dog, we trying to eat my food, but I just hope y'all be safe, and I got more videos to come.